Twitter is fighting back at Elon Musk's takeover attempt. KPIX5 anchor Alan Martin is here. He's explaining how something called the poison pill could make it harder for the billionaire to succeed.
They also put a poison pill that will make it harder for the company to be acquired without the consent of the board.
The drama continues, Dagan, for Papa John's. Their board has voted to adopt a poison pill aimed at preventing John Schnatter from getting a controlling stake in the company that he...
What is a poison pill? Poison pill is a colloquial term for a defense strategy used by the directors of a public company to prevent activist investors, competitors, or other would-be acquirers from taking control of the company by buying up large amounts of its stock. Poison pills effectively block the accumulation of stakes above a set percentage of a company's outstanding shares by promising to distribute additional free or heavily discounted shares to all shareholders, except those who trigger the provision. The goal is to prevent outsiders from gaining control without negotiating with the company's board or paying a negotiated buyout price to all shareholders. Courts have upheld poison pills as a legitimate defense by corporate boards, which are not obligated to accept any offer they do not deem to be in the company's long-term interest. Advantages of a poison pill. A company's board has a fiduciary duty to protect the interests of all shareholders, while an outsider seeking control may only wish or need to satisfy a minority to gain effective control through a tender offer, for example. A poison pill helps prevent takeovers based on majority control from disregarding the interests of minority shareholders. It also discourages vulture bids seeking to take advantage of a temporary decline in a share price. Market declines at the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic led hundreds of U.S. companies to adopt shareholder rights plans for that reason. Companies with poison pill defenses have tended to garner higher takeover premiums than those without them. Drawbacks of poison pills. By discouraging a motivated buyer from buying more company stock, a poison pill is likely to leave a share price lower than it would be otherwise, at least in the short run. Poison pills can also shield underperforming company managers from shareholder efforts to replace them. The good news on that score is that replacing a company board in a proxy contest can make a poison pill go away if the new board so chooses. Because poison pills discriminate against activist buyers and restrain trading in a company's stock, they typically require justification and often have sunset provisions. Poison pill examples. Netflix. In 2012, Netflix announced a poison pill days after billionaire investor Carl Icahn and affiliates disclosed a stake of nearly 10%. The poison pill promised to dilute the stake of anyone acquiring more than 10% of the video streaming service provider by allowing other shareholders to purchase 2 shares for the price of 1. Icahn funds later reduced and eventually sold their Netflix stake for a hefty gain. Papa John's.
Papa John's taking action against his former chairman. Cheryl Casoni has the details. Cheryl.
The drama continues, Dagan, for Papa John's. Their board has voted to adopt a poison pill aimed at preventing John Schnatter from getting a controlling stake in the company that he founded with just one pizza oven. That poison pill defense can be used to prevent a hostile takeover.
In July 2018, the board of restaurant chain Papa John's voted to adopt a poison pill to prevent ousted founder John Schnatter from gaining control of the company. Schnatter, who owned 30% of the company's stock, was the largest shareholder of Papa John's. To deter a takeover attempt by Schnatter, the board adopted a poison pill expiring after a year that would permit the company to sell its stock to shareholders for half its market price if Schnatter and his affiliates increased their stake to 31%, or if anyone else amassed a 15% stake. As with all poison pills, those triggering the provision would not be allowed to buy stock on the same discounted terms, effectively diluting their stake. Schnatter filed suit over some of the poison pill's provisions, settling it the following year, along with other litigation against the company. He reduced his stake in Papa John's to less than 4% by 2020.
Twitter is fighting back at Elon Musk's takeover attempt. KPIX5 anchor Alan Martin is here. He's explaining how something called the poison pill could make it harder for the billionaire to succeed. Alan?
Yeah, Sarah, hang with me on this because Elon Musk had to assume that a takeover of Twitter not going to be easy or cheap.
Tech billionaire Elon Musk facing resistance tonight in his fight to rule the Twitterverse. The social media giant now fending off Musk's $43 billion bid to buy Twitter with a business maneuver nicknamed a poison pill.
They are pulling up the drawbridge. They are strengthening their defenses against Elon Musk buying.
Twitter is trying to thwart billionaire Elon Musk's takeover attempt with a poison pill, a financial device that companies have been wielding against unwelcome suitors for decades. Musk offered to buy Twitter, with the revelation coming just days after the Tesla CEO said he would no longer be joining the social media company's board of directors. He offered $54.2 per share of Twitter's stock, calling the price his best and final offer. Twitter's board showed it will not go quietly, saying any acquisition of more than 15% of the firm's stock without its approval would trigger a plan to flood the market with shares and thus make a buyout much harder. And we all know how the story ends. What's the legal precedent for poison pills? In Delaware, where many large listed companies are incorporated, the courts have held corporate boards have wide discretion in preventing the accumulation of controlling stakes, provided their response is proportional and based on a reasonable perception of a threat. Are poison pills effective? According to Professor Chapman. She said that hostile takeovers are not as common as they were in the 1980s because potential acquirers now assume that companies have poison pill provisions in place.